Alright, so I got everything here, finally. It's been about 6 weeks since I put this siphon in this pond right here for it to go down this much. It's just a lot of flow, and all the rain we've had coming in here, it's been a little bit aggravating. But here now, we finally had 2 weeks without rain, and pond's gone down. It's down about 4 feet or so. And I am putting a new overflow in it today. The pipe that's out there is an old 6-inch PVC pipe, and it's got some stuff in it clogged up, and it's just not adequate to handle all the flow that comes into this pond, and it ends up flooding everything out and going over the spillway a lot. So I'm installing a concrete box and an 18-inch overflow pipe today. So new box will go about right here, and what I'm going to do is actually cut that old riser pipe off and put a screw cap on the backside, and that way he can have a drain if he ever wants to drain the pond back down, to be able to do any little thing. Plus he's still up there working with his mini and wants the pond to stay down, so I'll take the Sawzall and cut that off at the water level, and that way the pond will stay down, and when he's ready to fill back up, all he's got to do is put the plug back in on the backside. So I'm going to get set up and start getting this overflow put in today. So we went over there and checked the elevation of that dock. We're trying to raise the pond up a little bit. The owner wants it up a little bit higher, just because it's pretty shallow up there in the head section, to get a little bit more depth. So we went over there and we've got it like 6 or 8 inches from the bottom of that dock, so that when the pond does fill up from a rain, it's not, you know, covering the dock up every time. So that's determining my water level. That is 6.8, and the box is 3.5 feet tall. So 6, 8, and 3.5 is 10.3 is the grade for the bottom of that box. So 10.3 right there. So what I do now is come down here and mark that elevation. That'll be where I dig out for the box. Water's going to be up here, so honestly the box is going to sit somewhere about right in here. I just need to know where that level is. But first I have to cut it on. It will not beep if it's off. So pond is, I just heard you beep. So we're 3.5 feet. The pond's about 4 feet low. That's kind of what I figured. All right, let me get to digging. Okay, so I got the little pad cut out for the overflow box to sit on. Now that that's level and to the right grade, I'm gonna go get it and set the box. Just because it's a whole lot easier to go ahead and set the box, then I'll know the grade to dig the bottom of the ditch for the overflow pipe. So now that I have the box set, I've got the elevation of the bottom of the hole. I'd already knocked the hole in the box at the house and measured it with a old piece of pipe. So that saved me that step. And now I was able to get the elevation of the bottom of that knockout, which would be the elevation of the bottom of the pipe. And now I can start digging my ditch all the way through this pond dam.
Well, I'm working my way on back. I've made it all the way through the dam. Now I'm going down the slope. Had to bench it back a little bit there. And trying to pile up dirt as far as I can reach. And all I have to do is go down here. Now my plan is to go down here, and I think I can knock that little tree down and then go up through the woods and back around. If not, I'm going to have a slight problem. That's kind of my only way right now. Since I'm doing this way, I didn't want to have to dig back up and then try to straddle a 8 feet deep ditch and try to dig the trenches together. So I'm going to try to just go out through here and then go back up through the woods. Well, I've reached the bottom. It's not the prettiest in the world, but I'm kind of confined to a tight little space here. And I'm gonna pluck that little tree out and that little tree and go right straight up the hill there and go back around. Get my first piece of double wall pipe down here. I'm going to reach over the pile and drop it in place. Then I can come down here and just kind of put it inside the box. There's my ditch. Got it run through here and then kind of curved it around just a little bit to the creek channel. And ready to put the pipe in here and start putting it all together. Alright, just here at lunchtime now, just finished lunch. And right before that I went ahead and got all the pipe put in. So it goes in and goes all the way down there to the concrete down below. So now what I'm going to do is get up here with the excavator and lay some dirt on top of this pipe and run the jumping jack down it and pack beside it. And then once I get to the top of the pipe, we can go the easy route on packing and use the compaction wheel I got from Felco. So I haven't used that in a while, haven't done one of these in a while, and everything's been mud. That's still a little bit wet, but it should pack it pretty good. At least it'll save me a whole lot of handwork, and that's a good thing. So now I got all that dirt packed around there, and I'm going to put another lift in and roll it in with the compaction wheel. That way I can come down here and I need to mix up 4 or 5 bags of concrete for the anti-seep collar. Go ahead and cover this, and then I can finish covering all this up. And then I got to pour that box full of concrete, mix all those bags. But yeah, you still got to use the jumping jack, but the compaction wheel will do the rest from here. You just got to be able to pack beside the pipe. I mean, you see how much it packed down, about 6 inches, and what that does is it packs around the pipe and shoves dirt around it and under it and kind of fills in any little gaps so that nothing can leak through there. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay some more dirt in here and roll it in.
got all the trench backfilled on top of the dam. I still got to do the back slope, and I went ahead and mixed up 7 bags of concrete, dumped around right there, grouted the inside of the pipe, so that's nice and sealed. Now what I'm going to do is mix up enough concrete to fill the bottom of this box level with the bottom of the pipe. That'll reduce the amount of volume inside, so that it'll also reduce the effort that it'll require for it to float. You know, you take up some of the space inside, that's less airspace, and less likely that it'll float. And then the rest of it I'll dump around here and compact dirt around here, and then whatever's left I'll start taking it down the back side of the pond dam and getting all that covered up. So not a whole lot left to do here. Coming along pretty good. Just got how many more bags? 15 more bags of concrete to mix.
Well, it was a good day today. I was busy and I managed to get the entire overflow in. New concrete overflow box, trash rack set, concrete poured. Look at that nice grout job in there. Isn't that just pretty? So got that filled with concrete, dirt packed around it. I'm leaving the siphon in here tonight. We're going to try to lower it down a little bit more. And I'm going to cut that pipe off, and he's going to keep that as a drain. So if he ever needs to do work to the pond, he can at least get it down that low right there. That is the little John Deere Mini that I got unstuck when I come out here and set up the siphon. Back slope is graded. I put a cap on the end down there, so when he takes that off, he's going to have a pretty good little gush of water come out, and that way he can drain it. I've also got a 6-inch PVC cap so that once the pond is drained, there's still a fair amount of water flowing in. He can go out there in a boat and put it over top of that to stop the water long enough to come back over here and put the cap on, because it's going to be a little difficult to put that cap back on with the with water. It won't be gushing out that bad once the pond gets down, but it's very difficult to put a cap on with a good amount of water flowing out of a pipe. So that should seal that off, and that's pretty much how we're going to abandon that old overflow. Like I said, I'll take the sawzall and cut that off at water level tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow to get this finished up, and that's a wrap. And the overflow is done. Got everything seeded and strawed this morning, got the siphon taken up, and I was able to go out there and cut off the old riser pipe. So new overflow, little old overflow. So what we're going to do is leave that as a drain. So he's up there doing some work and wants to be able to keep the water down lower. So we decided to cut that off. That way he can always lower the pond down to that level right there. I glued on a cap down here at this end, and what he can do is come down here and unscrew this cap. Going to take a bath in the process because it's going to spray water everywhere. But he can undo that, and that will allow the water to drain. It's going to pour out like so. And once it drains down, should be able to get this cap put back on. If not, I left him another 6-inch cap to go out here on this end. And honestly, you could probably just take a 5-gallon bucket and turn it upside down. Anything just to stop the water long enough to put this cap back on, because if it's flushing out pretty good, it's going to be very difficult to get that cap put back on. But all in all, that's the new overflow, and the new pipes right there. It'll shoot out right into the creek channel. And there we go.